Happy Friday, everyone. I do not own the rights to this music. So glad to be here on this Friday. Welcome to Wine, Wealth, and Tea podcast. I hope you all had a great work week. Hope you all stayed safe, blessed, and productive. This evening, my wonderful, beautiful co-host will not be with us. She is taking a day off, which is well deserved. So, Tremaine, enjoy your day off. We'll still make sure we find some tea. As most people know, I like to give a couple of moments and allow people to start wandering themselves into the podcast so that you don't miss out on anything. So, this evening, as I like to get into it again, welcome to Wine, Wealth, and Tea podcast. I'm your host, Chrissy, with Polare Wines, and my co-host, Tremaine, with Healing Wild Living, is off for this evening. But we will keep moving forward. So this evening, we're going to talk about a couple of things before we bring on our guests, as we always like to do. And first thing is, I want to speak about, I don't know if anybody has paid any attention to the January 6th hearings that's been going on. If you watched it yesterday, then I'm sure you were in for a crazy treat. It was disturbing. I'll just say it just plain and simple. It is disturbing. And I hope they get to the bottom of things. I know a lot of people don't even really care about it right now, but I do hope they get to the bottom of it, because it's really disturbing, some of the things that are coming out that we thought we knew, but we didn't know. So I'll continue to watch when I can. Right now it's about my show, so I'm not going to be watching primetime TV relive of January 6th. It was just traumatic enough as it was. Other things that were in the news this week, it was a weird abduction / murder case. 40-something years old. It was crazy. 42, I think the young woman is, that her parents were slain, and they just found the bodies, and here she comes along thinking that her life was the way it was supposed to be, not knowing that she was kidnapped and parents were slain, and it's crazy. We're still finding out things from what happened in Texas. This week has really had no happy or funny moments. I'm just going to be honest. It really hasn't. But there's always happiness in the morning, as they say. It's always happiness in knowing that you can keep moving forward. It's happiness in knowing that you have your loved ones near. It's happiness in knowing that there is a God. And that brings me to the fact that we have a guest this evening that is a gospel artist. And we'll speak more on that when we bring him on. But and I do see you, so I will get you to join in just a moment. And it's just been one of those weeks where you reflect on a lot, between them trying to pass gun reform and then hearing about, what happened again in the schools, what happened January 6th. Sometimes it's an overload of negative energy, and I'll use that word. I have a rule in my house. You're not allowed to speak about negative things, because I feel that when we speak those things, we speak them over our lives, and we allow them to walk through the door. I was taught growing up that sometimes trouble is going to knock on everybody's door, but it's going to be a time when it's just going to walk in, and you have to be prepared for it. So stay prayed up. And it's just been one of those weeks where sometimes I'll turn on the news. I'll tell you, one of the only people that make me laugh when he talks about what's going on in the news is Trevor Noah. If you're listening, if you even have a moment to listen, the way you represent news and your opinions are just magical. You can take it and put a spin on it that allows for people to connect and also have some humor in some of the horrible things that are going on out there. And I know that sounds kind of weird, but if you ever watch Trevor Noah, he has a way with words and how he does his comedy with news. So without further ado, I want to just talk a little bit about who our guest is. Our guest this evening is a different type of gospel artist. I remember growing up, there was only Canton Spirituals, the Clark Sisters, Rance Allen Group. You know, these were the basic gospels. Shirley Caesar, this was basic gospel. That was the template. That was all you were allowed to listen to. And then I remember Kirk Franklin coming out, and Donald Lawrence, and so on and so on, and then Mary. And it started to change the style of what we perceived to be was gospel. And it was hard. It was very hard for people that was traditionary gospel listeners to accept how it was transforming to try to bring in younger generations of gospel listeners and people of the Christian belief, or any belief for that matter. And I find that this artist that's joining us tonight is a very different style, comes from a very different background, but his style is something that is infectious. I actually was just listening to some of his music, and I was like, wow, this is different from what I grew up in, because I am a PK, as they call him, PK, preacher's kid. And again, my household was very, very, very cut, dry. This is the box. You know, it wasn't until we got a little bit of the J Moss and different things, those different things, where it was like, okay, I like this. This is great. So without further ado, I want to just go ahead and welcome Al Casso onto our Wine, Wealth, and Tea podcast this evening. Al, I know that I saw you join. Now I got to see if I can bring you in. Yes, I can. The moment. And it should allow you to join. And as soon as you join, then you will appear on my screen. There you go.
Hey, what's up, Chrissy?
How are you?
All right, good at yourself?
I'm great.
That's good. Good to see you.
It's an honor to have you this evening. And I always think it's so you know, you're our probably fourth guest this season, maybe your fourth or fifth guest. And I want to start wearing my sunglasses too, because the lights that's on me are killing me. Okay, I got ring lights, ceiling fan lights, lights over here, lights over there, and you sitting chilling between your eyes.
Definitely.
Which I think is cool. You know, everybody comes on with their style and everything and their image. But I wish I could do it. I might have to do one day with my shades.
You don't need it. You got that glow. Keep that glow.
Thank you. Yeah. So let me first introduce again Al to everyone on the Wine, Wealth, and Tea podcast. And the way that we are associated is because of Scola De Nera. He's my partner, friend, and was a guest on the show. And as I was researching him, he had a featured part in one of your new singles that's out right now, called Fighting Demons. If everybody remembers, I spoke on it and I said, go listen to it. It is a dope song. But before we get into all of that, it really, as I was explaining earlier, growing up in a household where it was totally different. I had Canton Spirituals, you know, tambourine washboards type stuff, gospel music. So when new stuff started coming out, it took me a while to get used to it. I'm not even going to front. It took me a minute because I was traditional gospel girl. And before we go down that road, I want you to tell people who you are.
Well, I'm Casso. I'm a husband. I'm a father. I'm a Christian. I'm a Christian rap artist. And I'm just one who has a great concern for the needs of other people. Mm-hmm. That's who El Casso is.
Okay. Now I'm gonna put on my glasses tonight. It
There
might
you
not be my
go.
sun thing,
Okay.
but I do wear glasses, people. I'm gonna channel my inner Oprah this evening and put my glasses on.
There you go.
So, you definitely come from the gospel industry. But is that the industry that you started out in?
No, actually, I started off in the secular industry. I started
Okay.
off as a secular hip hop artist,
Okay.
and then I, kind of later on as I matured, merged over into Christian hip hop.
Okay. What is Christian hip hop? Because some people go, how do you mix the two? Even though we know what it is out there, but I think it's still a gray area for some people. You know what I mean? Because we
Right.
still have that tambourine banging, old Southern Baptist.
Yeah.
We still
Yeah.
have those beliefs. There's nothing wrong with that at all. But what has gospel is evolving just like any other genre of music. And now saying that it's rap, a lot of people shy away from that because, some people may not appeal to what rap music is, and it's so many different levels of it. So I just want you to explain what is Christian rap.
Well, I would say Christian rap is, I would say, to me, it's equivalent to secular rap, but I want to say that it's a little, it's better because it has substance, you know,
Mm-hmm. Okay.
as opposed to what we're used to hearing, all the negativity versus hearing something that's uplifting and spiritual.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know.
Okay, I can agree with that. I can agree with that. I was just speaking on how it's so much power in our music and in our words.
The
And
message,
when
you just
we're
said it.
yeah, when
Yeah,
you're
the message.
changing the narrative and the message, you really, really take away um some of the issues that are in our communities. I'm just gonna be honest. We actually, when I was talking about putting that energy out there, we put that energy into our music
We
and
do.
and it goes into our communities, into our homes. And everybody's an artist in their own way. I don't shy away from whatever it is that your art is. Um, you speak your truth, and that's the whole freedom of speech part in this country, which we
That's
we
right.
we all love. We've grown to love and cherish. But sometimes speaking our truth can also be harmful. So being in Christian rap, that's definitely a whole different direction
It is. It is.
for our community. So, even though you're in Christian rap, what is being a gospel artist? What is that?
Well, I would say being a gospel artist to me is not just, performing uh, a song, with uplifting lyrics, but actually, living the lifestyle of what you're singing about or what you're rapping about. That's what it means to me.
That, that makes me smile. My granny, who's gone to glory about
Yeah.
6 years now, she was known in our church for her voice, and she would always say, when you sing, you have to sing living the life. It has to
That's
come out
right.
in your words. And that's how you move the people. So I know that you were not always a gospel rap artist, Christian rap artist. So how was it stepping into the lifestyle change? Like how did that transition go for you to changing basically your whole life?
So it was a rather easy transition for me. It's just that, what I was doing, I just didn't feel that anymore. I didn't feel like that was, helping anybody. Nobody, anybody wasn't nobody benefiting from it. Then you kept
Mm-hmm.
hearing this over and over and over, from different artists. You pretty much hearing the same things, the same topics, same subjects, and it just wasn't uplifting, to me. So
So
when I merged over, I felt real good about it. I
okay.
felt real good about it
I,
because
I
I
know
knew that I
that's
was.
sometimes difficult for artists to transfer over from one genre to another. Um,
Yes.
And it's so many different artists out there that I'm like, they should sing, they should make a gospel album, they should do it, you know. But that's not always something that they're comfortable in. But you said it was an easy transition for you.
Yeah, it was an easy transition for me.
Okay. And was there an experience of some sort that led you into going into gospel?
Woo, yes, there was. Let me tell you, I'm pretty transparent. So
Okay.
I used to abuse alcohol. I mean, I was chasing Hennessy with Bud Ice. You know,
Mm.
I was a womanizer. You know,
Mm.
one day while working for the city of Baltimore, I met a coworker who was a pastor who
Mm-hmm.
introduced me to his church, and I remember sitting all the way up in front of the church, and the service was real high. And
Mm-hmm.
as I started, you know, letting myself go and getting into the service, I just felt like a burden, like a heavy weight was just lifted off of me. And ever since that day, that's the direction I've been going in.
Wow. That you know, you always hear these angelic moments when
Right.
people get closer to Christ, and that's inspiring within itself to let people know that it still happens. It's
Yeah.
still real. You know, it's
Yeah.
not something that you just read in a book. It can happen in everyday life where you can be touched and led in another direction with your life. So that is beautiful. And I say to those that are suffering with any type of abuse, um, you can come out of it.
That's
Because
right.
I mean, you're proof. You can come out of it. You don't have to live your life in a way that is unhappy, and it's not
That's
easy
right.
for everybody. I'm not one of those people that go, why can't you just do it? Because it's not easy. You know,
That's right.
life is not easy. It's not
The
meant to be
spirit is
easy.
willing. The spirit is
Yes,
willing, but the flesh is weak.
the flesh is weak. It is
That's for
absolutely
all
weak.
of us. I ain't
Oh
exempt. That's for
man,
all
every
of us.
level there is. It
Right.
is. It is. So I definitely understand that, and you know, God be the glory that you were able to come through it
Yes.
and come on the other side of it and not have to experience with so many from the inner city of Baltimore experience every day. I was
Yes.
explaining to a gentleman earlier this evening, one of my close friends. We were talking about the crime, how it's changed in North Carolina and how bad it is here. And I said to him, no, the crime that goes on here in North Carolina is rather petty compared to Baltimore or Philly or New
Yes.
York or Chicago.
Chicago.
And, you
Yes.
know, yeah, it's like the stuff that's going on here is so widespread. You barely, if you're not living in the midst of it, you don't know what's going on. Whereas
That's
in
right.
the inner cities up north, you're in the middle of it and you can't get away from it. So it's a different experience. So just to survive as a man and a black man at that, in the inner city of any city in this country, to get to your age and your level and your transition, that's a blessing within itself.
Yes, indeed. I'm grateful. Thank God.
Yes, yes. Now, did you always see yourself as a performer?
Well, I did. I did.
Okay.
I did. And growing up, I did perform for people. You know, as a matter of fact, I was one fourth of a group called the Rock Shot Crew, and we were always on. We were in regular rotation even then on a radio station. What was that? 1400. Yeah, yeah. We
Oh
was on a radio.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
We was on a radio station then, and
Is
it's
there
like
still a Heaven 1400? Do they still even have that Heaven 1400, 1600,
it
something like
is
that?
is heaven.
600.
Yeah, heaven 600. Yeah, that's heaven 600, and the 1400 AM. Yep, it's still
Mm-hmm,
it.
mm-hmm.
Yep, still it.
Wow.
WWIN. Yep,
Oh my
yep,
goodness.
yeah. So we did
Yeah, there
we
were
did
a
like
time, yeah, my younger, you know, viewers, there was a time when we actually had to switch over to AM to be able to listen to gospel because it was only played on Sundays from, you know, 6 to 11 on FM. And then in Maryland, we would get it on 88.9 a little longer
Right.
throughout the day. But now here we have Sirius XM, radio, where I'm listening to Kirk Franklin radio station all the time whenever I feel like I want to have church in my car.
That's right.
Times have definitely changed. Times have
Yes, they
definitely
have.
changed.
Yes, they have,
So
Chrissy.
you have been performing, so you know what this industry is about and what it takes.
Yes, I do. Yeah.
Is it just as hard in the gospel industry as it is in the rap and R&B industries? Is it do you have that same uh what is the word I'm looking for? That same process, that same stress. I'll say that. I'll use that. That's a safe word.
Uh, yes, yes, it is. I would say
Okay.
so. Yes, yeah, I would say so.
Okay. Same politics within it.
Right. That don't change.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
yeah, that don't
Wow.
change.
That's amazing. That is amazing. I know when listening to your music, I find myself thinking about when Mary Mary first came out.
Hmm.
And I'm gonna be very, very honest, when they first came out, I was like, what is that? I was not on the Mary Mary train. I was like, I'm not listening to that. I'm not into that. It took me a minute. It really did. And when I started liking them, it was more or less my daughter that kind of brought me over to the other side of gospel music because she is young and
Oh, okay.
she heard the message in the music more than I did. To me, it was all I could hear was the use of that music, the music that was associated for me with hip hop or R&B or something like that. But for her, she heard the words. She'd be like, "No, I like this song. You hear what it's saying? It's saying X, Y, and Z." And I'm like, I didn't get to that point because all I hear right now is the music.
Right.
So, it's difficult for, again, someone that grew up in a cut and dry household where we weren't even allowed to listen um, to certain types of music because it was considered, coming from this world of worldly music is what it was called.
Right. Yeah, that's what
So,
they call it.
yes, that's what they call it.
Yeah.
Which is now it's just music. It has no no divides. It is just fully just music on all levels, and I think it's beautiful. Um, were you inspired by any artists in the gospel industry?
Well, actually, Kirk Franklin was a gospel artist that inspired me. Uh, Donnie McClurk and
Mm.
oh God, Donald Lawrence.
Donald
You
Lawrence, yes,
know,
sir.
yeah, yeah. So
They are the greats. They are the
those
greats
are some
of
of, yeah, those
changing
are
the
the
music
greats.
industry.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
They inspired
They,
me to,
you get a lot now of rap artists being featured in gospel music. I remember when Snoop Dogg was on a record, Nicki Minaj was on a record, and I was like, "Whoa! Everybody's coming to do a cut or two on gospel. This is something else."
yeah. All things work together. Yeah,
That's it. That's it.
yeah.
So when Scola first told me about the single and everything, I was like, oh, okay, so you are you singing? And he was like, no, no, it's my man Al. And he started explaining who you are and everything. And I was like, okay. I went
Shout
to
out
look
to
you
my
up and I'm
brother. Shout out
it's
to my brother.
crazy. Yeah, indeed,
Yeah.
indeed, Scola. Um, that when I started listening, I was like, I think I've heard some of this music before. I've heard it. I've heard it. It wasn't something that wasn't familiar to me. I just didn't know it was you. And now look how
That's
life is full
crazy.
circle. Now I get to have a conversation with you.
Hey, yeah, here we are. Good thing. It's
Can
a
you
good thing.
get right? Can you explain in the process of becoming a singer, an artist, a gospel artist? Is it a hard process? Is it harder than anything else you've ever done?
No, I wouldn't say so. I
Really?
wouldn't say
Okay.
so.
Like,
Yeah.
nah, it's not that hard.
No, 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 it's not that hard.
Do you do most of your own writing, or if not all of it?
I do. So what happens is, so I have like a one main producer. Shout out to my brother, Dwayne Satterfield, aka Hologram. Uh, what happens is Weezy. I call him Weezy too. He usually he makes the tracks. He got a whole catalog of tracks. So what happens is
Mm-hmm.
he'll give me a track or give me some tracks, and I'll just bump the tracks, in my truck while I'm riding around, and I'll see where it take me. That's before I even start
Mm-hmm.
writing. I just listen to the track for a while first, maybe a day, maybe a half a day. So then I'll start hearing things. I'll start hearing like the hook. And I'll be thinking of a
Mm-hmm.
concept. That's the most important thing is
Mm-hmm.
the concept. So once I get the concept, I'll write the hook, go from there, and the rest is just history. Yeah, we got a good
Wow.
chemistry together. Yeah,
Wow. Okay.
yeah. But on
It,
this,
it's
go ahead, go ahead.
it's amazing how people don't realize that people that write their own music, they're poets. You're a poet.
Thank you, thank you. Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
We all are. Yeah, we are.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. To be able to construct your feelings into words and to make them manifest into almost stories for people to listen to and see and feel in their minds and bodies, that is poetry in motion.
True that.
I can say that because I used to write. I was writing from the time I was about 15, probably until I was almost 30. I have
Oh, okay.
books
So we're
and
gonna have
books
to
and
link up.
books
We're
of
gonna have to
that.
link up. So we're gonna have to link
Ah,
up and collab on
that
something.
was one of my many, many career choices. I used to write constantly poetry, different styles of poetry. At one time, I even used to sell it. It would go along with
Okay.
photographs and would integrate with art. So I definitely understand when an artist says that they wrote their own music, the passion that goes behind it. And sometimes you don't even want to give it up because it means so much to you. So thank you for giving us a part of you within your music.
Oh, my honor. My honor. Thank you. Thanks for listening. Thanks for listening
Oh,
to me.
yeah,
It's good to have somebody to listen to you.
that's right. That part.
That part right there.
That
That is
part.
somebody paying you some attention.
That part.
We all
That
need
part.
that. We all need it.
Absolutely. So, um, after going through the writing process and then getting a song together and putting it out there, um, what are some of the things that you look for? Like you were saying, glad that people listen to it. But what are you hoping that people get out of it, not by only listening, but what for their everyday lives?
Well, I'm hoping that it brings about a change in the person. Even if it's just one soul. If I can help get one soul, you know, to to
Hmm.
to to make it into the
Change.
kingdom or
Yeah.
whatever, change or whatever. I'm
Yeah.
content with that. You know.
Now,
But
how do you define what being a Christian is to you?
well, being a Christian to me, I would say just living your life as best you can according, to the will of God. But what he had. Now
Okay.
none of us are perfect. We all fall short, but at least try. At least try,
Right.
and just
Right. You can't hurt
treat
anything
people
if you're
right.
at least trying.
Right. Treat people right. We're gonna fall short. We all gonna fall short. That's just that, we living in sin, all of us.
All of
So
us born into it.
that's it. That's it.
Hmm.
So yeah,
Hmm.
so I would say just trying to, uphold the standards of God to the best of your ability, you know.
Hmm.
And
Okay.
just let your light shine and just live life and give off positive energy.
Okay. All right. I can agree with that. I don't think anybody would have a issue of a statement like that. You know, being a Christian can mean so many different things. Um, I am one that would like to tell people, be a believer of something bigger and better than yourself.
Right.
Um, so often, at least within this country, and I can say all over the world, that we allow religion to separate us. We define it as Christian, Muslim, you Jewish, whatever, Buddhist,
Right.
whatever. We pick and choose, and we put it in a box.
That's it.
But I don't think putting God in a box, that's not fair. It's not fair to
You
him
can't do that.
to
No, it's
box
not.
him in. He's too
No, it's
big to
not.
be boxed, you
That's
know?
right.
So I'm definitely a believer of believing in something bigger than you that can help you be better than you are.
That's right.
You know, and if that is being Christian, so be it. If that is being whatever else, as long as it's not causing any hurt, harm, or danger to anyone, I think
Facts.
that's the best part.
Facts.
And that's just my opinion, you know.
It's a good one.
And thank you.
I
Thank you.
concur. I concur.
Thank you. You know, it took a long time to evolve to get to that point, to get to that understanding of how I saw belief, religion, because people don't understand that there's two parts to it. It's, you know, religion is how you live, and your belief and your faith is something totally different. But we all lump it in at one thing, in one pot, you know, and it kind of scares other people that are in search of it off. It can scare you
Right.
off.
Right.
And we don't want
Okay.
people to be scared of God. It's nothing to be scared of. We want you to live a beautiful life, you know?
Right.
Um, I want to know, did you face any difficulties during COVID with your career?
Ooh, I think we all did. I think we all did. You know,
Indeed.
COVID has really changed me in the sense of appreciating family and just everyday people more, you know, and just
Mm-hmm.
maximizing and living life, you know,
Mm-hmm.
to its fullest. And again, giving off, you know, that positive energy, you know, because
Mm-hmm.
our time here is
It's short.
short. It's
It's not
limited.
as long as we think.
That's right.
It's
That's right.
very
So we
short.
got to make the best of it while we're here.
I was explaining to my younger sibling. I said, "Listen, now I understand what they used to say, where uh, uh, you're not but a child, but for a little while, and you'll miss it. So enjoy it while you can, because you are a grown
Indeed.
person way longer than you are a child."
That's right. Yes, you are. Whew, yes, you are.
Ooh, yeah, that part.
Ooh-wee.
You started thinking
My
for a minute,
Lord.
like, "Oh boy, this adult stuff is for the birds."
Ooh-wee. Man, oh
But
man.
you know, it's great that you were able to find something positive to cling to within the midst of COVID. I mean, this was such a mental breakdown time for us all, time of reflection, I think,
Yeah,
in a way,
that's it.
to
That's it right
rebuild
there.
yourself. Yeah,
Total
this was the
reflection.
reflection point. The 2 years were spent looking within, and figuring out, you know, where if you made it through, God willing, where to go next.
Yeah.
Um, and that's what brought about my podcast and so many other things. Um, Now, before I move further, I always like to stop for just a moment to kind of
Okay.
speak of some sponsors, not sponsors per se, but people or things that I know that are going in and around my city. And
Okay.
this weekend here in Charlotte, North Carolina, I do know that the 25-year concert of Drew
Yes.
Hill
Yes. Yes.
is
Yes.
coming tomorrow.
Yes, it is.
So I hope that you all have your tickets and I hope that you will come and see them because they give a amazing performance. I mean, they can still move, just to let everyone know, because I can't move like them. I'm not jumping around. I love telling me, what I want, but I'm not. I can't do the jumps. I can't do the cartwheels or anything else that goes on that stage. So that is one of the major events this weekend here in Charlotte, as well as it's a Black Food Week, Black Owned Food Week here. We have a lot of different art festivals that are happening. We've one at Camp North. There's always something fun and interesting there. And just a plethora of things within North Carolina. This is one of the states that I've lived in many, and I will say this is one of the best states that has so many opportunities for people of all races to enjoy with their families and their time. So I just also want to let people know that if you're looking for a weekend out on the water, I spoke of them before, but they're a new owned business called First Class. And what they do is if you book them for a day or hours or whatever, you can bring a group of people and just come and ride out onto Lake Norman, which is beautiful this time of year. So look them up as well. And my hair this evening is sponsored by Hair by Him, and that is located in the university area. I've been going to him for 16 years, and yes, everyone, this is all mine. My daughter even checked it. So those are my little quirks and sponsors for this evening. So now as we dive back into our last portion of this evening's conversation, I want to know, Al, how do you inspire others to keep moving forward with their dreams?
Like I said earlier, just by pouring out, positive energy and encouraging people, both young and old, to keep dreaming, regardless of regardless of the age, regardless of the circumstances before them. Just put God first, first and
God
foremost.
first.
Put God first. And
I had a very interesting link sent to me this morning of Denzel Washington speaking on putting God first. And, if you do that, then everything else falls into place. It was very, very moving.
That's a requirement.
To say the least. Yes.
That's a God-given requirement.
Again, believe in something bigger than yourself, and everything else will fall into place as it should. Because in this wide universe, there can't just be you.
That's right.
Yeah, we're special, but not that special where it's just us. It's right. A plethora of things out here. So that's good that you say that. And of course, we always like to know, even being a Christian, if you are a wine or tea drinker.
You know what? I am a social wine drinker. And I love herbal teas.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And drinking wine does not disqualify you from being a Christian, because Jesus turned water into wine. And I believe they enjoyed it.
I think they did. And it was in its purest form, which Polare Wines is in its purest form.
I was just getting ready to say, I'm waiting on my package. I told Cole I'm waiting.
I know that's right. Now, I know you guys have been busy and you have some news. Give us some tea. This is our tea moment where you can tell us anything that nobody else knows right now.
Okay. Well, we pretty much finishing up the video for Fighting Demons. And shout out to my brother, Adrian Butler, who collaborated on this song with Scola De Niro and myself. So yeah, we got a video that's in the process of being edited. Scola flew out a few days ago. He flew out and did what he had to do, and he flew back, to get back on that tour. So
you gotta make it happen.
That's right, I gotta make it happen. So we got the Fighting Demons video coming out real soon. It's gonna be a nice one. It's gonna be a
And
nice video.
where will people be able to view it?
It'll be on YouTube. It'll be everywhere. Some of the
Okay.
platforms I don't even know of because I don't even handle that side of it. But shout out
Well, I will
shout
say
out to
that
my man.
they can
Shout
go and
out to my
listen
man.
to your music everywhere. So
Yes, everywhere. It's on all platforms. Right now, the song itself is on all music platforms.
it is. It is.
Yes, it's on all
I
music
found another
platforms.
song of yours, God is Good. And I
Yes,
want to play
yes.
it, but what happened to me last week, I played a song, and because, I don't own the rights, they
Right.
almost pulled my pod. So I
Ooh,
can't play it
no,
this
we don't
evening
want
because
that.
I don't want them to, yeah, I had to fight it. So I don't want to risk it being pulled. But please go on YouTube, you guys, and look up Al Casso and look for the song God is Good and Fighting Demons. Those are, and that song is from 2021. But I enjoyed it. I really did.
Yeah, God
Again,
is good.
I'm getting acquainted with, yeah,
God is. Oh yeah,
yeah,
yeah. God is good.
yep,
Yeah. Oh,
yep.
I'm sorry. I forgot. There's another song coming out called "When Praises Go Up," which
All
features
right.
which features. I like to collab with other Christian artists because it ain't just about me. So it's another
Mm-hmm.
collabo song with a couple brothers from Dallas, Texas. Justin Ingram and ATTW7. Real talented
Okay.
uh, brothers. Yes,
Okay.
yes,
That'll be your second collabo with Justin Ingram because he's on God is Good.
yes. Yep, that's correct.
Okay.
Yep, July the 8th. That's the
I
release
do my
date.
research.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, I see. I see.
I really, really appreciate you this evening, Al, for coming on here and talking with us on Wine, Wealth, and Tea podcast. And we are always looking for new people to come on. And ladies, you gotta step it up because we've had men and we have another one coming on next week.
Come
So,
on, ladies.
ladies,
Come
where you
on,
at?
ladies.
We gotta represent.
Come
You
on,
gotta get some
ladies.
get some women on here. But yeah, so we've had some great um, men that have come and have graced us with knowledge and in their careers and what we consider the wealth portion of our pod. I am the wine, our guest is the wealth, and Tremaine is the tea. So if you know someone that is interested in being on our pod, please contact us through our DMs, and we will get with you. We will work with you. Al or anybody can tell you we do contact you. Sometimes we fall behind. I did tell Al I fell behind. I had a little bit of a cold, but I got over it.
So
But I
good.
kept it moving. As you can see, I'm a lot better. And next week we will have Jordan on, and Jordan he's in aviation school, and I think
Mm,
this is important, especially right now, because of the pilot shortage in our country. So this young gentleman is going to come and join us next week, and I think that will be very informative for a lot of people, especially for folks like yourself that's out here flying around the country, performing. You want to know that there's some good pilots out there. So. But I definitely enjoyed your time with us, Al. Is there anything else you want to talk to us about or tell
uh,
people where they can follow you and find
Thanks for
you?
having me. Thanks for
Thank
having me. Thank you for having me. Yeah. So you people can follow me on Facebook at Al Casso. That's IMALCASSO. On IG, I'm Al Casso, and on Twitter, it's I'm underscore Al Casso.
you. Okay. Okay. Are there any foundations or sponsors or anything else that you want to mention to us this evening?
Well, right now, I'm not currently sponsored with any products yet, but I was hoping that Parlay Wines, y'all might take me under your wings or something, and
Oh, of course,
we
of
get
course.
something
We would
going.
love to.
Definitely, definitely.
Always, always, always the love here, on Wine, Wealth, and Tea.
Yes.
You're welcome to always come back. Let us know when you're available. We love return guests. We love to see
Thank you.
where you
Thank you.
are with your career. You know, before you get to the point where we have to call your people and your people call our people and so on and
No,
so on before I can get you.
no. Hey, I'm gonna tell you one thing about me that'll never happen. I think what happened was, Skoll and I, we started off doing music around the same area. We was all one big family, and we still are.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
my man Scola De Niro has never changed
He really
the
has
peak
not.
of his career, from before his career, peak of his career to this day. He's the realest cat in the industry I know.
Very, very humble brother.
Very
And I
humble.
can feel the same energy from you. You are the most relaxed guest I have ever had. You so chill and laid back, man.
Oh man, I
I've
appreciate it.
enjoyed it.
Yeah, I've
You
enjoyed it too. Thanks for having me, Chrissy. Real talk. 100.
All right. All right. Well, I'm going to let you go and enjoy your family for the weekend. And you're
Okay.
welcome to reach out to me for any other questions or this will be featured on Instagram. And we are trying to move it onto YouTube. It's a little difficult, but you will have the full content to be able to post wherever you like. So with that, I like to say have a good evening, Al, and we will talk again soon.
You do the same, sis. God bless you. Godspeed.
Thank you. Thank you. Everyone, thank you again for joining Wine, Wealth, and Tea podcast. I'm your host, Chrissy, and Tremaine is off. If you ever want to know more about us, remember to reach us on our individual IG accounts I am at Polare with Chrissy, and Tremaine is at Healing While Living. See you soon. Have a great weekend. Bye.